Welcome to Littlelee and Rose. My name is Summer Noel, and today we're going to do a fun cup. We are going to do a mermaid scale cup made almost basically entirely of scales. This is a pattern that I have and created on my Cricut. I will share the file in the shared files of my Facebook group. So if you need it, join our Facebook group, check out those files. We have a lot of free files for you there. We're going to do a fun one today. We're going to do black scales and holographic black scales, and we're going to add a few purple metallic scales in there. We're basically just going to wrap this cup up and keep it simple. This one's going to have no freestyle glitter on it. We're just going for it with the vinyl. So we're going to do kind of an off pattern, really no pattern at all, other than just every once in a while we're going to do black and a couple blacks and then a couple of these and of this and that and this and that, and every once in a while we're going to throw in a purple. It's going to just have a really cool look on it. And then we're going to do what's really fun at that is this is a really inexpensive way. If you just get a sheet of this vinyl that looks like glitter already, it's a really inexpensive way to do a glitter mermaid tumbler, but without having the hassle of working with actual glitter. And it's a very quick, easy tumbler to make in a pinch if you need a gift or a last minute item for someone that wants to purchase a last minute gift from you. This is a great option. So let's just dive in. I'm going to use my weeding tweezers. I really like the super fine point of these to get in and grab into my into my mermaid scale. Now you want to start at the bottom of the tumbler first. This tumbler has been sanded already, sanded, washed, and prepped. We are just going to do it on a straight silver base. It doesn't matter because we are going to fill in all that extra space. We're just going to go boop, boop, boop. It's very simple. It's not even paint by numbers. It is just stick them on. You want to overlap them a little bit. And the reason you start at the bottom, because if you start at the top, you're going to have these points sticking up and showing, and that is not what you want to go for. That's not the look you're going for. So we are just going to do this. I'm going to show you guys a few with the different colors, and then we're going to jump in and go on to high speed because this is a process. There we go. Now, just for fun, we're going to throw in a holographic. Press it down and go back to black. Now, obviously, this is up to you. If you want more holographic or you want more black, that's your choice. It's personal preference. It's however you want to design this. You get to go and you get to make it. Again, this is just to show you a fun style of how to get a fun glitter cup. I saw in my group, somebody did ask and say, hey, how did they create this? And it had been done by glitter. And I said, woo, that person has got a lot of time on their hands to create all those scales by hand glitter when you can just make them by vinyl. Now, if you do want a glitter that looks very similar to this vinyl, that would be our collection. It would be Vader in our collection. He is our black holographic, black holographic. He looks super cool playing just on a cup. He's a very, very popular boy. He sells out very, very soon after we get him in. We order him quite often, because you guys love him. Again, all the stuff you can see and hear about through our Facebook group. So we're going to just keep laying these down, having fun, going back and forth. All right, we're just going to get this one row done. And then just for fun's sake, let's throw the last one in there as a nice purple. Metallic purple. All right, I'm going to keep this repetitive motion. We're going to keep going up the cup. And finish out this cup in high speed. Okay, guys, so we did, we've got the silver on the bottom, and I took my X-Acto knife and just ever so carefully applied quite a bit of pressure and just took a very, very thin amount off the top lip, just so that there was a little silver on top and a little silver on bottom, and it was unified. Now, I will say, do not, if you do this one, don't throw away these, because we're going to use, I'm going to actually do a tutorial where you're going to want this as a stencil. So keep these sheets, and we will be, we'll be doing a tutorial with the back part of this as a tutorial down the road. So keep this handy. Don't throw this away, because we will use these lines in a future tutorial. All right. So now we are going to add the fun little details to this cup. I've printed out some fun decals and a little saying to put on it. And so we're going to keep moving forward with that. All right, now we have this gorgeous holographic cup with those few metallic foils in there. We're going to take this top line and we're just going to carefully cut it off with a very, very sharp X-Acto knife and make a nice edge. We have the silver down here, so we're going to try to leave it with just a touch. All right, so we are now at the stage where we're going to add our fun little decals. Now, this cup had a little bit of trouble because when the clear spray paint was drying, because I put the matte finish clear spray paint over the top of the really shiny, glossy vinyl so that the epoxy could grab it. In the midst of drying, it fell off my drying rack because my husband was playing video games right there and knocked it. And it got a bunch of fuzzies and puppy hairs and all that good stuff on it. So I pulled as much as I could off, wiped as much as I could off, used my little tweezers to get as many little stray glitters as I can. But you can see there's one right there that still made it through. But we are just going to carry on because I know that when we put more epoxy over the top of this, it's going to cover all those little fish eyes. They're not a big deal. I don't even know if you can see them on camera. There's just a few here and there. And that's just from the little dusty bits of the fish eyes. So let's go ahead and get this going. So our next layer of epoxy will and should cover up those spots that got a little wonky from that. So we have this really fun tentacle cutout that I made on my Cricut, and we are going to very carefully lay it. I'm going to kind of lay the bottom down first and then work my way around. Now, the reason I laid a layer of epoxy down before adding this is because if we didn't, you would see all the little lines and grooves of the scales behind this layer of vinyl. So this just gives us a nice smooth surface to have this vinyl, and it makes it to where it doesn't rip away or tear or make any kind of leave any sticky residue or anything behind when you pull it off. So there we go. We have our beautiful tentacles. This is going to be our kind of our under the sea tumbler, and then we're going to add our words right here. And it says, "The boss is on a roll." I think this is going to become one of my cups. If you follow Littlelee and Rose at all, and you've heard maybe the secret, we are officially going brick and mortar. We have a building opening here in San Diego, California. We're super excited. So the boss is on a roll. If you are a fan of this movie, you will know what this is. That's kind of me. I'm on a roll. All right, so what we will do now is do another layer of the clear coat spray paint, because this vinyl is so slippery, and there's such a large space that the epoxy has another, like, very little to grip onto. So we'll put the matte finish spray paint over the top of it, so it does, again, have something to grip onto. So we'll get started on that, and we'll be right back. All right, here we go. We have applied the decal. We've done a nice coat of matte finish spray paint over the top of the decal, again to make sure that the surface of this large decal grips onto the epoxy that we're going to be using. We mixed, let's see, we have about 15 mLs of Littlelee and Rose Pouring Art epoxy, and we are going to go ahead and apply this onto the cup. This should be plenty. This should be enough to pretty much do our last coat. We really just want to make sure that this decal is covered and coated in and sealed in and made permanent. I can't wait to take a picture of this thing outside for you guys. The vinyl just explodes. The shininess of the purple and the holographic is absolutely beautiful. Now, if you're looking to do this in a style with glitter, the glitter style that you would look for from us to match the black holographic would be Vader, and the beautiful purple would probably be closest to our glitter color Travis. So if you wanted to just make with a stencil and make mermaid scales in those colors, those are the glitter colors that you would use. Now I just did it in vinyl to show you guys a very quick way to do this that does not involve working with glitter, and to still make a beautiful, beautiful cup. And it's fun. So this epoxy is got a 350-degree temperature rating. It works well in humid climates. It also has UV protectant in it. So if this was a white surface, it would really help keep it from yellowing out. It's also very, very low bubble. You can see that you don't see any large bubbles popping up as I apply it. If there's any small bubbles, it just takes a little tiny bit of torching. The less torchingness is, the least amount of torching you need to do is the best. And there we go. And let's not forget the butt. So this should really be our last round of epoxy on this cup. We shall see. Maybe the decal might need a little bit extra covering, so we might have to do one more layer, but 15 ml should be plenty on a 20-ounce regular cup. And as you can see, it's got a nice coating on it. I even have maybe enough here. If I had a hang method 20-ounce, I'd be doing it right now with that little bit that I just had, but we'll put it on the bottom. There we go. Always make sure that the top is well done, the bottom is well coated, and we're going to let this sit. I'm going to let this sit for probably about 15 minutes. Come back and double check it. If I do see any large bubbles or micro bubbling, I'll hit it with a torch, but I'm going to give it about 5 to 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. Just as I'm going to walk away, work on another cup, come back and look. Any bubbles that you might see have a really good chance of probably coming to the surface and naturally popping without any torching. That's your best option. So let it sit a few minutes, then come back. If you do still see a big bubble or a micro bubble, hit it with your torch real quick. Keep the torch at least 6 inches away from your cup, and keep on rolling. All right. And the link for the epoxy that we used, also for the cups, some vinyl, and all the goodies will be underneath the tutorial in the description. I do want to pop back on here because I know a lot of my regulars are going to notice this. I am not wearing a chemical respirator right now. That is because I am working outside. If you are working in a small enclosed space or a non-ventilated space, you definitely want to make sure you wear your respirator. Again, I am outside, so it's very, very well ventilated. I have fans going, not directly at me because I don't want them pointed at my cup, but I have them moving the air circulating around the room. So, but I have the wide barn doors open. I'm right on the edge, and I'm essentially outdoors. So that is why I'm not wearing a chemical respirator. Even though it is low VOC and has less VOC than a bottle of nail polish, you always want to be careful because you may have an allergic reaction to whatever is inside of epoxy. It's not necessarily the VOC that's the problem. It's the allergic reaction you would have to some of the components of the epoxy. So just always be careful. I'm wearing nitrile gloves. There's chemical respirator. Be careful when working with epoxy. All right, there we go. All right, she's all finished. You can see her beautiful scales. This is kind of a good, easy cup for a beginner who's a little intimidated by adding glitter to a cup. You can do it with vinyl. This is just a really fun, easy cup. This is a 20 regular style cup, but you can do these scales on pretty much any style cup you want to work with. This is just, and then the purple is the metallic foil. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.